Okay, guys, sorry about that. Part two, in effect. So I was kind of ending on the whole breathing into the microphone. Listen, if I could do something about that, I would. Just that's the way it is. If you're watching me on your home theater, surround sound through your smart TV or Chromecast, it's going to be magnified. It's going to be amplified. You're going to notice it a lot more than if you're just watching me on your laptop. I apologize. Not more I can do about it. Let's see. So moving on from there, one of the arguments that I see a lot between commenters in the comments section is about, you guys are fucking stupid for spending over $100 on a knife. I just can't believe that. There are starving children. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. First world privileges, motherfucker. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. Nobody's telling you that you have to spend $2,000 on a knife, or $500 on a knife, or $85 on a knife. I'm here showing you the things that I love, that I enjoy. Giving you as much information as I'm able to. That way, if you enjoy it, maybe it gives you the information you need to make a decision to buy one for yourself. That's all. Nobody's twisting your arm. What I hate is somebody coming in here and calling my subscribers names and insulting them, and me in the process, because we choose to enjoy more expensive knives. Well, it doesn't matter. Man, I started with $40, $50 Kershaws, and I loved them. And I still have a couple of them. I still have my old Blur. I still have my old Rainbow Leak, just as a reminder of how much I loved this hobby, getting into it when I could not afford knives like this. But I've moved on. I have different tastes, different wants, different needs, different desires. So I buy different types of knives now. That doesn't mean I don't think that your Kershaw isn't cool. It's just not something that I buy anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't judge you. Why judge me or judge my subscribers that are coming here and talking about these things? But to say that no knife is worth over $100, well, it just shows your own limited capacities. It just shows that you don't have the experience with them. It's like saying no gun is worth more than a $200 Lorson. Really? Okay. Again, it shows your limitations. No car is worth over $20,000. Okay? These are all things that we can argue all day long. Now, just because you don't need something that costs that much doesn't mean that these knives aren't worth it. Do you need a custom Graham Razel like this? Probably not. I don't really need it either. But I enjoy having it. And I love it for all of the things that it is. Watch the video if you want to know. Is it a night and day difference between the $400 mid-tech? Well, I should say the $425 mid-tech everybody's selling for $800. To me, yeah, there is that big of a difference. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the mid-tech. I own the mid-tech. Oh shit, I meant to bring it out here. I own the mid-tech. Then I spent another few $100 modifying it, making it, I don't know, more unique. But it will never take the place of this one. It just can't do it. They're worlds apart. It just depends on what your needs and your desires are. But don't dictate to others what they should spend. One of my least expensive knives here, actually this is the second least expensive knife. This is the least expensive. This is the second least expensive. Still one of my absolute favorites. Brian Ty Tac 2, compound grind, mirror bevels, satin flats, crazy fast action. One of the best detents he's ever done. It's not about how much money you spend. And honestly, it's not really about whose name is on the blade. You realize how many fucking awesome zero tolerance knives are out there? How many awesome cold steel knives are out there? And so on and so forth. I just want something different, that's all. And I don't mind paying to get that. So when you see something like this come out here, or something like this, don't tell people it's not worth the money. You know what? This is hand craftsmanship. This is time. It's not about the materials always. Yeah, something like this, you're paying a lot of money for Timascus, you pay a lot of money for Moku Tai, but most of the time you're paying for time. And when you break it down, most of these knife makers, when you actually talk to them and say, well, how many hours did you really put into this build? If they even know off the top of their head. You're going to break it down, and they're making maybe slightly more than that kid flipping burgers or manning the fry station at McDonald's. If you break it down hourly. Sure, this may be a $1,200 knife. That doesn't mean Jesse is running around driving in a fucking McLaren because he sold a handful of these this year. There's only so much time in the day. There's almost only so much time in the year and how many knives he can produce. But I'd rather have something that I paid a lot of money for that gives me the bang for my buck than keep trying my luck with production knives that have continually let me down with their consistency issues. Now again, there are some brands that are great. I can't think of a single Benchmade I ever got, for example, that was problematic. I'm sure there are people that have. I'm sure there are people that have never bought a Benchmade that wasn't problematic. You know, just as an example. I'm not really saying that there's a brand that has a problem. I've never personally had a Benchmade with an issue. There are some brands that I've bought and replaced and replaced and replaced because of certain issues. You guys know my trials and tribulations with Boker over the past couple of years. You know, there's a really inconsistent brand, at least Boker Plus. So I'd rather spend a little bit more and know the level of quality that I'm getting into. And it's also nice when you can build a relationship with an individual, as I've gotten to know Ed over at Red Horse Knife Works. I've really enjoyed it. It's allowed me to ask for certain things like this amazing backspacer, all done in solid copper, this incredible thumb disc, cushion jewel cut solid copper. You know, I can't go and buy a Kershaw and call up Kershaw and go, hey man, would you put a copper backspacer in there for me? They're going to go, well, number one, I won't have anybody's number, but if I did, they would go, no. They're sold as is. You want to customize it, you find somebody to customize it. So I enjoy that. If you don't, that's fine, but don't admonish others for spending money on what they enjoy. It's none of your business. Period. It's flat out none of your business. If you don't like seeing expensive things, don't go to somebody's channel that talks about expensive things. If your interests are in a $120 Spyderco, and again, absolutely nothing wrong with that, then go find a YouTube channel where somebody deals with Spydercos a lot, or production knives. Don't come in here and pick at me or pick at my subscribers for the things that we enjoy. Saying no knife is worth the money that you're spending on these things, well, you just don't know. You don't know the amount of work that's gone into them. You don't know how, expensive SM100 is to use for a blade, or Timascus for the handles, or the amount of time that it took to jewel cut this solid piece of copper and then sit down and mirror polish it. There's a lot of work that goes into these. A lot of work that isn't even seen sometimes. A lot of skill in operating a CNC machine. A lot of time and a lot of money spent to get that CNC machine. So at the end of the day, with any good maker, the cost is always justifiable. It's just up to you to decide if you can personally justify it. I'm not here to tell you if you enjoy an $85 Benchmade that you absolutely have to go out and buy a $1,000 Bodega. I'm not here to tell you that. What I'm doing is, if you have an interest and you are searching out a Todd Begg bodega and you come across my video, you obviously have an interest in it. And I'm here to tell you what I love about it, what I would change about it, if I feel it's worth the expense. Obviously, I do. I own a couple of them. I've bought plenty. I'm excited about the things that are being done these days in the knife industry. There's some really, really bitchin' things going on. There's a lot of great dealers out there. There's a lot of great makers out there. And there's a wonderful community that surrounds all of this, that allows all of us to share our passion. And somebody outside of the community may see what we do as something a bit different. I actually had somebody jump on my Instagram one day and say shit like, oh my God, you are such a show-off. All you do is show off your expensive knives. Number one, you're on Instagram, dipshit. What we do is take pictures of things that we enjoy. Maybe it's your fucking latte that morning that you want to show people, okay? Maybe it's your precious BMW. Maybe it's your crossbow. Maybe it's your gun collection. Maybe it's your knives or your shoe collection. I know guys that collect friggin' shoes that will spend $300-400 on vintage Air Jordans. Dude, that's entirely up to them. And how they choose to share it is up to them. So we're in a community of people that get things that are in many cases a one-off. You know, there will never be another one of these, another one of these, another one of these. Another one of these. So I get the opportunity to share what makes it special with other people that also appreciate that. And they do the exact same thing with their collection. So if you're kind of stumbling in here and you don't know about the knife community, you don't know the passion that we all have and how we share with one another, I've sent my knives that I own, that I've paid a lot of money for, to friends that I've made purely just online through this knife community. Oh, here, you know, take a look at this and carry it for a week and tell me what you think of it. And then so they've sent those to me. Because we like to share the enthusiasm that we have. So if you don't get it, that's fine, but don't admonish others because of that. And don't say, oh, you're showing off. Dude, you're on Instagram. That's what people do. I could be taking booty selfies all day. I happen to think I have quite the nice ass. You, sir, may have a different opinion, however, should you have to look at it page after page after page, scrolling through your feed. It is a little white and pasty. But that's what we do. Some of the knives that I own, the reason I got turned on to them and found out about them to begin with was because of someone else that had that knife and shared it with this community. And I went, oh my God, I've got to own one of these. Case in point, John Graham. I had seen pictures of various different Razels and I didn't get it. And I'm like, I don't understand the blade. It doesn't have a tip or a point. I don't get it. And it was through other people, someone sending me their knife, letting me play with it, that I went, oh shit, oh, now I get it. Now I understand. And this is still one of my favorites in my collection. And if it weren't for someone else who had the same passion, sharing it, then I wouldn't have known about it. GTC, that's another. I just got this G-Force yesterday. I gotta tell you, man, I mean, I didn't get it direct. I am on Gus's books. When I talked to him at Blade, I had already been on his books for about a year. And I said, do I have any hope anytime this year? He's like, no, most likely early 2015. So I've been waiting patiently. But I have been dying to get my hands on a GTC ever since I handled somebody else's. And since I see so many people posting pictures of theirs and talking about how much they love their GTCs. So I ponied up and I paid just about double what the damn thing is worth. And yeah, that's still eating at me. It's still bothering me. I still look at this and go, this is a fucking awesome knife, but it's not worth what I paid for it. But for what Gus charges, oh yeah, this thing is friggin' incredible. So it's because of that sharing that we all get to learn a little bit more. Gorgeous job on that grind, by the way. It's so easy to geek out on a knife like this. There's so much to love about it. So much great precision. I love this flush clip too. I don't really like spring clips, but when you put this kind of work into it to make it fit completely flush against the knife, how can you not respect that? How? It's impossible. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers. That's pretty much the frequently asked questions. Things that I seem to see in the comments more often than others. Maybe I'll think of some other things to reference at some point. I am going to try to get some more videos done as quickly as I can. For those that are asking about the Diamond Jim's Live Knives project, you know, we had those serious technical difficulties during the last show that we did. And I ended up stopping the show in the middle of it, canceling it, and having to spend all of the next day individually uploading knives to Instagram and selling them that way. It was a horrible inconvenience for everyone watching the show every time we had to stop for 5, 10, 15 minutes. They sat through 2 hours and we got through maybe a dozen knives when we should have gotten through 40 knives in 3 hours. So it was a terrible inconvenience for them. It was an inconvenience for me. It was an embarrassment. It was very difficult because what I'm trying to do is on the bleeding edge of technology. Trying to do any kind of live streaming to the internet is already nearly impossible. But when you're doing that, you're running through 2 different services. You have somebody in a remote location hundreds of miles away as your producer doing that work, and you're relying on PayPal, and you're relying on software on a freshly brand new built website to accommodate the orders, because I heard so many people saying, I don't think it's fair to have to do the email for an order because I don't feel I'm ever going to get a knife. I spent a lot of time, money, and resources to change that up, and it crashed repeatedly, and it caused a lot of issues. So until I can see that it can be done perfectly, the show is on hold. So there will be no future shows unless I see that the technology that I need to rely on can be perfected. And when and if that time comes, oh, we'll come out bigger and better than ever. I'm not worried about that. I just don't like doing something and not having it perfect. I don't like doing something that other people are relying on and it goes to shit. There were people that called out of work in order to watch the show and buy from the show, that sold knives to have money to be ready for that show. So I feel that there's a lot of pressure on me to make sure it's as perfect as it can be. So until then, it is indefinitely on hold. So that's pretty much it. I just want to get a few things out of the way. Thank you guys as always for watching. I do very much appreciate all of you that you do tune in, you do watch all the videos, you spend the time to actually watch the video beginning to end instead of asking a zillion questions in comments about things that actually I already covered in the video. So if you watch them from beginning to end, you shouldn't usually have too many questions. Those of you that have clicked through and hit the ads and stuff like that, hey, that's great. Thank you very much. It helps me have a few extra dollars to pick up an extra knife every now and then. So thank you for all the support here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. I just surpassed 10,000 followers. God knows how. If you'd like to follow me there, please do so. It's at Jim Skelton TV. It's all one word. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on the next video.